panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery guest, we go to a different form of questioning. You will ask one question at a time.
Huh? Obviously put on.
I heard screams when this guest, and I'm sure they would scream for a lovely lady, but it sounded to me like the kind of screams I would like to get. Are there two of you there?
Well, yes.
Miss Elsa?
They're twins. Let me see. What twins do we know? Martin and Lewis.
No.
Is it possible that you have both, to each other, I might add, been recently married?
Oh, recently? Just a moment. Well, yes, would you say yes? Yes, we would, yeah.
Miss Maxwell?
Are you Julius La Rosa and you...
I would say that judging by the huskiness and the voices of these two people, I haven't been drinking enough Cokes lately. Would it possibly be Debbie and Eddie?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, I don't know.
Don't take Eddie, and you don't want to cry, Lou.
Oh, I always cry.
You cry whenever you see Debbie.
Eddie.
Well, let's see. Are you in show business?
Yes?
Are you having tooth trouble? Oh, I withdraw that plate. Have you ever been in motion pictures?
Yeah.
Might you be described, perhaps John would have to answer this, as a leading lady?
Well, I don't know. Do you use a little no?
What?
What's a little no, sir? It's sometimes, yes.
What our guest is meant to say is yes.
Have you ever appeared in a Technicolor picture?
Oh, yes.
You ever work on TV?
Oh, what I was telling about over there. No.
Are you here to publicize a picture?
Sometime in the regular time, was sometime before there. I was not here this time. About last. No.
I thought it was a European picture then for a minute. That was no.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
You are a lady. We have established that. Would you be correctly deemed a star?
No. No. Io se non te lo posso no. È vero? Sì, no.
No, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Well,
Yes?
it says yes, I guess so, yes.
Have you ever played any dramatic roles in motion pictures?
Oh, yes. Well, no,
I gotta have a conference. I've been waiting for this for a minute.
Oh, I like those conferences. Thank you, darling.
You like them? Oh.
Well, I would say,
Yeah.
half and half, huh?
Half and half. All right.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Oui.
These pictures showed a very beautiful girl smooching around with Eddie Fisher. Have you posed at all for any pictures with Eddie Fisher?
Well, I mean, there's a... What, you mean smooching?
Well, it's an old Oklahoma word. My wife uses it. It means cuddling up a little bit.
Oh, that what it means?
Snug, right?
I like it.
I'm just curious, perhaps it's being a reporter for so long, but I saw Eddie the other night after he'd taken Debbie home, and he was looking very starry-eyed, and I can't believe that she's come here without him. Is he here?
He should be in Palisades Park.
That's a very good thought.
I want to play my biggest scene right now. Miss Reynolds, I'd like you to meet Mr. Fisher.
I have no idea what you do. I'm glad I came tonight, John.
Well, I'm glad you came.
I don't know how I got here because I didn't even bring my shovel. I left California. It was 83. Well, I just don't know what to ask you at all. I really don't. Tony, you ask him a question. Tony's very good at asking questions.
A lot.
We discussed that. Well, do you deal, your services, do you deal with both men and women?
Yes.
And what you do, is this much nicer for the women, shall we say?
I didn't hear you.
Should I have said that?
What you do is much nicer with the women.
Is the service that you render, do you render this to women more than men? Shall we?
Well, I would say both.
Which do you like the best? No, it's not a question. Do they come to you?
Yes.
Do you have an office?
Could be described as in a very general way.
Well, what do you do to them makes them happier?
Yes.
At least
Makes them happier. Mentally happier?
I guess both.
Well, she
what we
sounds
would like
friendly.
to think, Debbie, is that ultimately...
Is it, you help them financially with your services?
Well, I would say that there might be cases in which Miss Mansucani would agree with me that under circumstances which were particular, it is possible that one could come to a greater degree of economic well-being as a result of the service which Miss Mansucani gave.
Wonderful.
See?
Is that Hungarian or what kind of... oh, well...
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Reynolds.
In this line of writing, is it in the... perhaps in the newspaper field or in a... Well, let's say that. Is it in a newspaper field?
What do you want me to do, darling? Give it away.
I know who it is. It's Dorothy Kilgallen.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, it seems rather difficult, that question, to answer quite quickly. You know, when I was in the theatre, of course, I did well. Yes. What do you mean, anything? I don't know what you talk, anything. You mean when you answer this question, if I mean this town or the other town, or don't I do nothing? What? That's a very fresh question. Well, only it depends what you call about this one. In I was in France, many time I sell the blues, and when I come here is yes.
Mr. Gabe.
Well, I don't know. It just simply depends, of course, rather much on how you look at it, I suppose. When I was, as I explained before, no.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you Debbie Reynolds?
Yes. This is the unthinkable Molly Brown Debbie Reynolds.
Nobody can do accents like that girl. It had to be Debbie Reynolds.
That's what gave her away.
It had to be.
Yes, there was a little tiny bit of zha-zha in one of your answers.
That's fair, that isn't zha-zha, because you always know me, darling, when I do
That's the giveaway.
But I can't do, I didn't do it,
No,
Sveta, I was
a
doing
little bit.
something else. I hope you didn't think it was her. I mean, she doesn't speak Italian. I mean, not like that. You always get me, Dorothy.
Do I, Debbie?
Yes, last time, too. Last time I was... Last time we
Next time, come on and
I
do.
did New York last time. I mean, you know, sort of like that, and you got me, too. I mean, no matter what you do, she knows that. Terrific.
Do you use all of these or any of these accents in the unsinkable Molly Brown?
No, I don't.
Does it have a little English touch? Doesn't
No,
it?
no. She's, you know, a real mountain girl in the beginning, and then she matures and grows up, and it's a musical comedy, of course, you know, that was in New York. We're very excited about it, naturally, because it's coming at the Music Hall on June 29th. But I brought it in just this week to show the sort of the stockholders and the national magazines and people like that. So that's why we're in New York.
How long are you going to stay with us?
I'm going home tomorrow morning.
You got to go back to work again, Tony?
Yes, I'm starting another picture next week.
Oh, what's this one?
Goodbye, Charlie, it's called, with Tony Curtis at Fox. It'll be a lot of fun.
Wonderful.
I think Mr. Gable is going to be with us. Is that
You?
right?
I think so.
Do you have an accent?
He has a lot of them, if you...
Are you going... I just heard that. I mean, I'm not being smart or anything.
It'll be a
Is that
great
right?
honor to play in your support, Debbie.
Hey,
Debbie?
Well,
Gee.
golly day.
Are you connected with the field of sport?
Well, the sweetheart, I can't really understand you. Do you have an accent? You know, I
wish
can't
you were.
understand what he says. I think it's sweet of you to say the boys think about me, darling. It's wonderful. No, I'm not a boy.
And to answer your question, no. One down.
May I assume that your very, very good Gabor Hungarian accent is phony and that you're really a clean-cut American girl?
No, sweetheart, that's wonderful. Isn't she sweet to think like that? I think she's marvelous. Oh, Mother would be so happy with you, sweetheart. No, it's not true. Yes, you're right.
I'm just curious to know whether you and I have recently had an opportunity to sit together at the same luncheon table.
Well, sweetheart, I sit with so many. What is it, darling? We have lunch together? Well, I don't know, you know, it's been so many years since I had lunch, sweetheart. Where was it?
Is
What's
it
your
yes?
name again?
Is it yes or no?
For what, sweetheart? Did I have lunch or I was with you? I get so confused with this panel. Speak up and speak clearly, darling. I don't understand what he said, did you? Am I a girl and I'm not interested in sports? I can't understand what he said, darling. He says, am I in sports?
You're worse than John Daly.
You know, you should, when you have a date, sweetheart, you don't let everybody in the whole world know about it, you know, like this. You don't tell everybody we have a luncheon date, sweetheart. You must keep this a secret. Your wife is right inside there, and it's your birthday.
Bennett, I see the only way for you to get off the hook is to tell us who you think we have here. Whom we have here, rather.
Whom?
Yeah.
Who do
Whom?
Who do you think I is?
I want an answer to my question. That's all I want.
No.
No, we'll throw over a lot of them.
It's his birthday. I know, sweetheart. We all try to forget this nowadays when our birthdays come. It's terrible. But is somebody speaking now besides me? I'm getting very nervous here, darling. Am I all alone with my sport?
Well, we got a couple...
I'm just waiting for lunch to be over. If this particular beauty has recently been in the newspapers with a member of the royal family of Belgium?
Well, sweetheart, I'm not from Belgium, no, darling. I simply am not from Belgium. There's one thing. I've never been to Belgium. No, I want to very much go to Belgium. You know, it's so far away. Don't you think that, you know, one time I've been to Russia, but when I was in Russia, I was there in the cold in Russia. I don't really... Now, do you want to go to England? I might pick you over there, you know? You could go there. I wasn't with... Yes, I know the king.
I have had so much fun in years. I haven't done any work for 5 minutes.
Do you know... The king...
What became of us all?
No, what was the question?
The question was, are you in sports?
I think I know who it is, but I'm not going to guess.
You mean the sport? What kind of sport, darling?
Oh, who do you think we have with us?
I think it is a very talented, attractive young lady who has recently made many charming pictures and who is about to do another and who has been recently photographed with a black-glassed, eye-glassed king.
Nobody can get
Debbie
down
Reynolds.
to what they want to say tonight.
I'd just like to say a word before I introduce John. Last Sunday night, we had as our mystery guest Miss Debbie Reynolds. And I'd like to say that I think she's the most charming, the most humorous, and the nicest kid we've had in that position in 9 years.
You ever work on TV?
Oh, what? I was telling about over there. No.
Are you here to publicize a picture?
Sometime in the regular time, it was sometime before there. I was not here this time. Well, last. No.
I thought it was a European picture there for a minute. That was no.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
You are a lady. We have established that. Would you be correctly deemed a star?
No. No. Io se non te la vostra attenzione, no? È vero? Sì, no.
No, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Well,
Yes?
it says yes, I guess so, yes.
Have you ever played any dramatic roles in motion pictures?
Oh, yes. Well, no,
I gotta have a conference. I've been waiting for this for minutes.
Oh, I like those conferences. Thank you, darling.
You like them? Oh.
Well, I would say,
Yeah.
half and half, huh?
Half and half. All right.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Oui.
These pictures showed a very beautiful girl smooching around with Eddie Fisher. Have you posed at all for any pictures with Eddie Fisher?
Well, I mean, there's a... What, you mean smooching?
Well, it's an old Oklahoma word. My wife uses it. It means cuddling up a little bit.
Oh, that what it means?
No.
I like it.
I'm just curious, perhaps as being a reporter for so long, but I saw Eddie the other night after he'd taken Debbie home, and he was looking very starry-eyed, and I can't believe that she's come here without him. Is he here?
He should be in Palisades Park.
That's a very good thought. Well.
Gee.
Golly day.
Are you connected with the field of sport?
The sweetheart, I can't really understand you. Do you have an accent? You know,
I wish you were.
Understand what he says. I think it's sweet of you to say the boys think about me, darling. It's wonderful. No, I'm not a boy.
And to answer your question, no. One down.
May I assume that you're very, very good Gabor Hungarian accent is phony and that you're really a clean-cut American girl?
No, sweetheart, that's wonderful. Isn't she sweet to think that? I think she's marvelous. Oh, Mother would be so happy with you, sweetheart. No, it's not true. Yes, you're right.
I'm just curious to know whether you and I have recently had an opportunity to sit together at the same luncheon table.
Well, sweetheart, I sit with so many. What is it, darling? We have lunch together? Well, I don't know, you know. It's been so many years since I had lunch, sweetheart. Where was it?
Is
What's
it
your
yes?
name again?
Is it yes or no?
For what, sweetheart? Did I have lunch or I was with you? I get so confused with this panel. Speak up and speak clearly, darling. I don't understand what he said, did you? Am I a girl and I'm not interested in sports? I can't understand what he said, darling. He says, am I in sports?
You're worse than John Daly.
You know, you should, when you have a date, sweetheart, you don't let everybody in the whole world know about it, you know, like this. You don't tell everybody we have a luncheon date, sweetheart. You must keep this a secret. Your wife isn't right inside there, and it's your birthday.
Bennett, I see the only way for you to get off the hook is to tell us who you think we have here, whom we have here, rather.
Whom?
Yeah.
Who do you think I is?
I want an answer to my question. That's all I want.
No.
No, we'll throw over a lot of them.
It's his birthday. I know, sweetheart. We all try to forget this nowadays when our birthday's done. It's terrible. But is somebody speaking now besides me? I'm getting very nervous here, darling. Am I all alone with my sport?
Well, we got a couple.
I'm just waiting for lunch to be over. If this particular beauty has recently been in the newspapers with a member of the royal family of Belgium?
Well, sweetheart, I'm not from Belgium, no, darling. I simply am not from Belgium. There's one thing. I've never been to Belgium. I'm glad I came tonight, John.
Well, I'm glad you came.
I don't know how I got here because I didn't even bring my shovel. I left California. It was 83. Well, I just don't know what to ask you at all. Really don't. Tony, you ask him a question. Tony's very good at asking questions.
A lot.
We discussed that. Well, do you deal, your services, do you deal with both men and women? Yes. And what you do, is this much nicer for the women, shall we say?
I didn't hear you.
Should I have said that?
What you do is much nicer with the women.
Is the service that you render, do you render this to women more than men?
Well, I would say both.
Which do you like the best? No, it's not a question. Do they come to you?
Yes.
Do you have an office?
Could be described as in a very general way.
Well, what do you do to them makes them happier?
Yes.
At least
Makes them happier. Mentally happier?
I guess both.
Well, she
what we
sounds
would like
friendly.
to think, Debbie, is that ultimately...
Is it, you help them financially with your services?
Well, I would say that there might be cases in which Miss Mansukhani would agree with me that under circumstances which were particular, it is possible that one could come to a greater degree of economic well-being as a result of the service which Miss Mansukhani gave.
Wonderful.
See?
Is that Hungarian or what kind of... oh, well...
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Reynolds.
In this line of writing, is it in the... perhaps in the newspaper field or in a... Well, let's say that. Is it in a newspaper field?
What do you want me to do, darling? Give it away.
I know who it is. It's Dorothy Kilgallen.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, it seems rather difficult, that question, to answer quite quickly. You know, when I was in the theatre, of course, I did well. Yes. What do you mean, anything? I don't know what you talk, anything. You mean when you ask this question, if I'm in this town or the other town, or don't I do nothing? What? That's a very fresh question. Well, only it depends what you call about this one. When I was in France, many time I sell the blues, and when I come here is yes.
Mr. Game.
Well, I don't know. It just simply depends, of course.
And to answer your question, no.
May I assume that your very, very good Gabor Hungarian accent is phony and that you're really a clean-cut American girl?
No, sweetheart, that's wonderful. Isn't she sweet to think that? I think she's marvelous. Oh, Mother would be so happy with you, sweetheart. No, it's not true. Yes, you're right.
I'm just curious to know whether you and I have recently had an opportunity to sit together at the same luncheon table.
Well, sweetheart, I sit with so many. What is it, we have lunch together? Well, I don't know, you know. It's been so many years since I had lunch, sweetheart. Where was it?
Is it yes or no?
For what, sweetheart? Did I have lunch or I was with you? I get so confused with this panel. Speak up and speak clearly, darling. I don't understand what he said, did you? Am I a girl and I'm not interested in sports? I can't understand what he said, darling. He says, am I in sports?
You're worse than John Daly.
You know, you should, when you have a date, sweetheart, you don't let everybody in the whole world know about it, you know, like this. You don't tell everybody we have a luncheon date, sweetheart. You must keep this a secret. Your wife is right inside there, and it's your birthday.
Bennett, I see the only way for you to get off the hook is to tell us who you think we have here. Whom we have here, rather.
Whom?
Yeah.
Who do you think I is?
I want an answer to my question. That's all I want.
No.
No, we'll throw over a lot of them.
It's his birthday. I know, sweetheart. We all try to forget this nowadays when our birthday's done. It's terrible. But is somebody speaking now besides me? I'm getting very nervous here, darling. Am I all alone with my sport?
Well, we got a couple.
I'm just waiting for lunch to be over. If this particular beauty has recently been in the newspapers with a member of the royal family of Belgium?
Well, sweetheart, I'm not from Belgium, no, darling. I simply am not from Belgium. There's one thing. I've never been to Belgium. No, I want to very much go to Belgium. You know, it's so far away. Don't you think that, you know, one time I've been to Russia, but when I was in Russia, I was there in the cold in Russia. I don't really... Now, do you want to go to England? I might pick you over there, you know? You could go there. I wasn't with... Yes, I know the king.